It's time to gather together. Hi there, I'm Yelta, and I'll be buying the first round while we chat about Final Fantasy XIV. This is episode 175. Pull up a chair and join us. On the menu tonight, changes to sales of Snows and Lightning's Attire. Full event schedule for Final Fantasy XIV at Gamescom 2019. Play free for up to 6 days in the latest free login campaign. Join us at PAX West 2019. But first, let us shoot this shit. What has been going on this week? Hey, Ruby.
Hi, Yelta. How are you, ma'am?
I am excellent. How are you?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. I'm quite good today, actually.
Yeah, it's been a really good few days for us. We did some more Savage. We ran things. I mean, it's pretty hopping over at Nofika's Bosom. That's our free company's name, if you didn't know. And we're loving it. In fact, I think we even have more members that will be incoming very soon. So, we say this a lot, but for you new listeners, or if you haven't heard of this before, it's Yelta's slogan, find your people. And, we welcome with open arms, but not everybody jives with a group. So, you come in, it's not what you like, move on, and, life is good. We're not hateful. We're not spiteful if you leave or anything. So, we look forward to any new members that are coming. Happy to have them. Happy to run content. Because that's been really great. We have varying levels of, players, you could say. I'm trying to find the right word for it. But, some people want to do maps, and they're okay with that. And some people want to do just normal stuff. Some people want to do EX clears, and that's the top. A primal, that's what I want to do. And there's people who want to do Savage. But I think we've got enough people in our free company now that we can kind of spread that out. And in fact, if I'm late, I can't get into a party.
I have been the ninth person to log in and been like, I think we talked about it last week. People had to rotate in and out of EX Primal farms and stuff because we just have too many people that want to do stuff, which is a good problem to have. Mm-hmm. We still haven't quite figured out how to figure it out.
Well, we're working on it. We still need that large-scale content, which may come, So, it's a good thing. But personally, I hit I-451 this week. I boffed on getting some shoes in Eden Normal. I didn't realize that the shoes didn't drop in 3, and I was kind of just going willy-nilly, and oh well. But Tome shoes are better for me anyway, so I think that would have been a waste. So I think I dodged a bullet, not looking ahead. I'm doing pretty good on the gear. I think it's just a few more pieces to kind of really solidify things, but we're clearing Savage, at least the first turn. So I'm not in a spot where I'm feeling really bad. I'm trying to pad my gear because I feel like I'm compensating for what Summoner is. I'm having a lot of difficulty. What's that?
Are you compensating for something?
Yes, it's my small horn. It doesn't work right. I thump it. It won't cast Bahamut. I'm just still having a lot of issues. I love the job, and I'm not going to beat this dead horse. My free company's tired of hearing of it. My set's tired of hearing it. I'm just not impressed with the way they've built Summoner after what we had post 4.1 Stormblood Summoner. This is not it. And I read 2 threads today giving suggestions what to do. I watched a video today explaining the rotation. So a shout out to Morning. It's a website that has a lot of summoner resources. Let me see if I can type it in real quick. Morning.com. And they've got a lot of good summoner resources. They talk a lot about just how to do the rotation, different openers, how the job works. It's like a basics guide, but then it expands out. We'll link the website on the forum post. So go to our forums, listener, please, and leave a comment. Morning has been good for me because I learned something today through a video that the dots drop off when you're doing the correct summoner rotation, meaning there's a rotation that's titled Tokyo Drift because you have to drift your off global cooldowns to make them line up later in the rotation, which is kind of gross. And part of that is one point after your dots drop after your Phoenix phase, there's like a 1 to 2 second gap before your Dreadworm Trance is available, and then you can cast that dot, the free Tri-Disaster. It's weird. And if you were not a previous summoner and knew about these resources and looked into it, you would just naturally believe, okay, Phoenix is up, I'm going to use this, and this is up, I'm going to use this. But that's not how you play summoner right now, and it's kind of gross. So a big shout out to Hawk Morning, because I learned some stuff about this job for 5.0 that I'm like, okay, I was compensating for my dots dropping off by rushing my next abilities. And what that was doing is causing disconnect later down that I was all kinds of fucked up 2 or 3 rotations of my cycle down, and it was causing me frustration. So hopefully this frustration alleviates a bit, but for now, I am still compensating by trying to overgear to make up for some of the DPS loss I feel like I'm having. And the double weave thing just pisses me off in that opener. But we did clear E1S. We cleared it after we podcasted last, right? So we podcasted last Tuesday, and we cleared it. We podcasted on Wednesday, but we cleared it on Saturday. And then we ran it again Tuesday. That's our new set night. And we cleared. We had some different people in, people we didn't see from people who had not seen mechanics before. And we did really well. We changed positions. There was some little stuff going on. I think once we got the bugs worked out, I thought it was pretty good. So
you're talking about when I murdered Radiant with my circle. That's what.
Well, I mean, there was a lot of murdering happening. I couldn't run across the screen, and I'd get murdered, and then I ran a circle over you, and you ran a circle over Radiant. I stepped in somebody's black hole because I had to walk across the map. There was just some wackiness, and part of it was just changing up where we were positioned, and it's still relatively new to us. We're not Elysium. We're not Entropy. We don't learn on the fly sometimes. We're just like, oh, I shouldn't have stood there. Can we reset? So, but it worked out. It was fine. And I'm fairly certain we have the DPS for E2S even at this stage. It'll be some weeks before we get through that. We'll have plenty of gear before then. We learn a little slow. I'll be happy this tier. I'll be happy if by 5.1 we've got E2S down and we're doing some E3S prog. That gives us maybe 3 more months there to work on E3 and E4. So, and that's usually our MO, right, Yelta? We kind of clear right before the next
and that's part of
patch.
Well, and that's part of why we moved our raid night to Tuesday night, so that we would because we're only doing one night a week as a group, and for sure a lot of us just have decided we don't want to do twice or 3 times a week and whatever. So if we do our clears of what we know we can handle, our learning of what we are working on, then you have the rest of the week if you want to go pug, because we have people of varying skills levels. Mine is not the top of the 8 people there. I am not the strongest or anywhere near the top. So
I don't agree, but whatever.
Well, I was really I live in fear for the day Baldandy decides that we just progress too slow for him and won't take us anymore. or a lot of our good players, my co-healer and both of our tanks are beasts. All of our damage dealers are awesome, but I don't want someone to feel like they can't progress.
Right.
So if we get our stuff done early in the week, then go ahead and pug it. I'm usually too scared to pug that stuff, but I guess I pug EX Primal, so I don't know why I couldn't pug this.
I think now that we've cleared it, you've cleared it twice. Most of the people in our group have cleared it twice. I've cleared it 3 times. And
we cleared it multiple times that other night, so if you want to count actual clears, we were rotating people in.
We've cleared quite a bit, and we're actually rotating people in, like Yelta just said, so that's been a real positive. That's something really new for our free company. I think we just had done the 8 people, and when we get it, and we're kind of done, and we move on. And this time we've taken more of a casual approach to the clears, in the effect of we're not really worried who's joining us for the stuff, as long as you've got the DPS and you've watched the video and you understand that we're trying to clear here. Let's do it. I think that last week we focused hard on Tuesday, and then that was the Saturday. We just were like, let's rotate people in. Let's go. Come on, next person. And that works well. I think it works best when you rotate one person in, because it's not a carry. I'm not going to call it that. Everybody who's participated has
one person,
done well.
They have to take over one spot, right?
That's true.
Take over the last person's position if it's possible.
So you've got to meet, at least the expectation of carrying enough DPS to fill that slot, or as a tank, know the mechanics, or as a healer, know what you're doing. So we're able to do that. It's mainly DPS that we're swapping in and out, and everybody's stepped up to the plate, and everybody's been getting their clears. So people are getting pages. And that's a positive. I think as long as people walk away with pages, and it's not even that. I think as people walk away with the clear and they're like, I cleared in week 2. All right, I got one of these done. And we're not talking Savage. I mean, we're not talking Titan Savage. I think for a lot of people, just getting that first or second tier or turn cleared in a raid tier is good, because that's additional accessories and possibly helmet, hands, and feet, and some upgrades that they're getting early that they wouldn't have gotten earlier. So it's positive. It's very, very positive, the things that are happening. And I think that's along with, as long as everybody knows the expectations of what they're getting into.
I don't think we ever really dawned on me that we could run, and even if it's no chests, get pages. Whether for me or for other people. I don't know why I never even thought of that. You can slowly then upgrade, even if it's just pages.
Right. So I think most of us have at least 2 pages at this point, a couple more weeks, and that's a done deal. And I'm telling you, a lot of the people who are joining in those end of the week parties, they're not looking for 2 chests, obviously. They're just looking to get that clear. And for some, it's a matter of pride, and partially it's a matter of getting more gear. So anyway, all positive things. I'll move on from the Savage conversation. I took Bard to 71. That's just so I could play with my wife, who is now 73. So that's fantastic. Good job, Senna. Nice. So we'll be able to do some stuff together. I'll probably do trusts with that Bard again, just to see to see that new experience gain. I know they don't play any different, but I think if I run the 71 dungeon a couple more times, they'll level to 72, and then it's 5 more times or whatever, 3 more times to 73, something like that. So I'm gonna do that just to goof around with it. I think it'll be all right. I'd like to see Bard. Plus, I want to see that ranged storyline. I want to see what's her name? Something Ray. I don't remember. The Bard. And
yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah. In fact, Yelta, just real quick on that, I was watching the opening scene to 2.0, right? So you got, it's the Warriors of Darkness, but it's not. It's us. It's our clones or something. Whatever mind lore that you have to do to get over that fact.
I think
mesh
they're not
it together.
Supposed to be the Warrior Darknesses, but they're supposed to be generic warriors showing what you are doing or something. Yeah.
But I'm watching that, and there's some connection there, obviously, but I'm watching when the healer gets protect casted on him by the archer. That did happen. Then the healer comes up and heals him, and then that loving look when he leaves, I'm like, oh, there's that love that I saw in the healer role quest. Got the love in your eyes. Anyway, that was neat. My last thing for the list, it's not Final Fantasy 14 related, but it will affect me. I'm moving. I'm moving apartments in a week. We have to upgrade. We have a son that's over a year old. We got to upgrade. We need more space. So we are staying in the same apartment complex, but we're moving to a different unit. It shouldn't affect us too greatly, but I might be without internet for a day. I don't know how easily it is to switch some stuff. I'm hoping everything is smooth as silk. But if not, there might be some weirdness there. But that's kind of like my major IRL aggression at the moment because I have to pack. My wife's listening in the other room. She's probably going, he hasn't packed anything. Don't listen to him. I haven't packed anything yet. I haven't packed anything yet, but I got to pack.
I saw Twitter pictures of Bean helping pack.
Well, yeah, he's picking up the slack for his lazy dad. He's been putting toys in the box. The unfortunate thing is he takes the toys right out of the box. Then he puts the toys back in the box. And he takes the toys back out of the box. But he will enjoy his new big bedroom when the time comes. Maybe I should Final Fantasy it up, do some decor. It's an apartment. I can't do a whole lot with it, but maybe I can do some an accent wall and do some stuff on it. So we'll see. I'm excited. It's going to be nice to have more space, and we're going to have more space for our computers and things too. A lot of the issue we have is Alexander, our son, is able to hit the buttons on the computers, and if we're not paying attention to him and he's whining for something, he'll come over and just bump into the computer, and it's like, you got to play with me now. So we're going to have a position where he's not quite as accessible to the computers, and as he gets older, it's gotten a lot easier. He plays by himself on the floor with the blocks and things. And it's like, hurry, do a dungeon. So life is good over here. Yelta, what'd you do this past week?
Well, I had to log into the game because I didn't know we were eye level flexing, but I did get to. I'm winning. If it's competition.
I'm surprised your co-healer isn't winning with her 2 E1S drops from the other week. Oh my God, Raven, she should be winning.
She feels so bad though. I forgot that was even possible.
I did too. So we had, just to interject, we had cleared E1S last week, and we had a pug with us. So our pug rules are, we just need all. But the pug, we just were like, need all. But the pug dipped. He's like, guys, I just wanted the clear. Thank y'all for helping me get this clear. And dipped. We're like, dude, get your loot, whatever. He's gone.
It's a pug.
So everybody at this point is already hitting need, right? And I completely forgot, as you said you did, that you can, if you wanted to, if you can need on all 3 of them, get all 3 of them. They're just drops, right? And it doesn't lock you out. And she needed, and everybody else needed, and she got 2 of the 3 drops. You got the other one.
I got the 3rd one. Your healers got their drops first. I don't know.
And everybody says that healers don't get their drops in this new Savage loot thing, but here we are.
Oh. Well, last night we did. Was that last night?
Yeah.
Last night. I'm old. Last night we went in to do our E1S clear. And before we went in, or no, we had gone in. We hadn't started fighting yet. I'm like, everybody do random because we're going to do a Suicide Kings. Mm-hmm. I don't know what we're going to do when we add a new person or whatever, but at least you get a list of order, top to bottom. I just put Raven dead on the bottom, and I put myself just above her because she had 2 drops. I had 1 drop. And then everybody else, random. Frey, your roll sucked, dude. So sorry. What did you roll? 48? It was crazy.
Yeah, poor Frey.
So anyway, the way the Suicide Kings works is get the clear. Someone reads from the top of the list, Rubicon Veil, and it's the belt piece, right? We're like, the belt piece, take it or leave it, and I don't know, whoever took it or left it. Radiant, I think, skipped, so the next person was their chance, and so at 3 drops a week, we're going to burn through, people are going to get gear, plus you have pages. Mm-hmm. So it's a very easy way to deal with drops quickly. Yes. And it's as fair as it can be. I know that, some groups, and yeah, maybe if we're having trouble in Eden 2S, we're like, oh, we need a little bit more healing, or the tanks need something. I could very much see us voting something, but for the most part, it's, we'll just, whoever's at the top of the list gets to say, I want this or I'll pass. And they stay at the top of the list until they get something, though.
Right.
And then you go to the bottom of the list. So, and you can have as many people on this list as, sign up for it or whatever. But Yeah, she felt terrible. I honestly wasn't expecting to get anything. I kind of,
What'd you get, a ring?
I got earrings.
Earrings.
So, but that was it. That was pretty much my week. I tried to help with some other stuff. I think I had already announced I got Innocence Mount last week, but I already talked about that. Mm-hmm. I guess other than that, I really did some crafting. I think I capped. I did, eating normal, get all my drops, that kind of thing. I did the regular weekly stuff. I feel like a moron, though. So on Monday or Sunday night, I had noticed I was working on my Wondrous Tales. I got a line. I was at 7 stickers. Nice. And I'm like, all right, Monday. And actually, I thought I had another week. I'm like, Monday, I'll just get 2 more stickers, turn this sucker in, yay. No, it apparently already expired. I was just so upset. I had a line at 7 stickers, 2 more stickers. I had a really good chance at 2 lines. Like I was robbed by myself, not paying attention to the date on the book, I guess.
Oh, yeah. It's happened to me before.
I know. People forget about Wondrous Tales, but really, if you're running content anyway, it's worth popping up, while you're waiting for your queue or something. But I don't know what else I did. Not much. I've been playing Minecraft with my sister again, so that's not terrible. But that was pretty much my week.
It's a good week.
So yeah, I thought so. I was pretty felt accomplished that week. Listeners, you can come to the website and shoot the shit with us. www.gtffxiv.com. Give us a comment and let us know what you've been up to, or tweet us or email us or whatever. All right, the first round is news. We don't have a ton, but we do have some. So one is the changes to the sales of Snows and Lightning attire. I think currently or previously you could buy the specific items, the coat, the gauntlet, the skirts, the boots, the gloves, the trouser, whatever. You would buy them separately. They're changing it now, so pretty much you're just going to get the whole set together.
I guess that's a good thing, yeah.
I think I know why they originally had them separate was that quest was such that you had to be like level, 45 to get the body piece or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was something weird about the high levels in this. Yeah.
Yeah, so on Tuesday, August 27th, they're going to change that, so you will just get the whole set completely. I don't know if then you can discard the pieces that you don't use, that you may already have duplicates of or something. I don't know. We'll find out, I'm sure. All right, full event schedule for Final Fantasy XIV at Gamescom 2019 is up. That's in Germany, so I'm not going to be there, but...
What?
I know. So they have some big things, they say, to surprise and amaze us. So on Tuesday, August 20th, 2019, through Saturday, August 24th, that's the time of the event itself. And they are going to be in Hall 9 with the Final Fantasy XIV stuff. So you're going to have chances at prizes at a booth. You're going to check out the latest Predator gaming hardware? Okay. Oh, that's the... What is that thing? Is that the controller thing?
I'm looking at it. Enhance. I'm guessing that's what they're talking about, yeah.
I don't know. Monitors are Predator. I don't know. Somebody tell us what this means. Okay. But it says gaming hardware to maximize your gaming experience. And they've invited Yoshi P and the mini scenario writer and world lore creator Oda, and Foxconn's going to be there. They're going to have a battle challenge. They're going to have Titania and Innocence, and they get t-shirts.
This setup looks odd to me. I get what you're kind of saying, and I feel like Predator is just a gaming company at this point. Maybe not like a specific device, but like, I don't know if it's the angle of these things. They look like stadium seating, then they look like computer monitors all in a row, ready for somebody to come over and challenge it. It looks, maybe it's German, it's very clinical, it's like very organized and clean, and
Well, and that picture looks like a mock-up, so...
Yeah, so maybe that's what we're working with here. This is just the mock-ups of what it is, which just makes it very difficult to see the Predator hardware.
And they're going to have stage shows. They're going to have Extreme Roulette, Titania Extreme, Innocence Extreme, or Eden. They're going to have Loot, a Dark Knight Sponge Sword, and a sports bag. The Warrior of Darkness. It's purple. Man,
it's a good color.
Purple. Anyway.
Who can get Yelta a Warrior of Darkness bag?
Mama Yelta needs a
Mama Yelta needs that Warrior of Darkness bag. Help her out.
All right, and they're going to they're going to stream the entire stage program on the Twitch channel.
Nice.
And let's see. There's some fuckery with time zones here, but I'm just going to read it. Fight along with Yoshi P and Fox Clan. They're going to do show matches Thursday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., and then again Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. PDT. They're doing a dungeon run the first one, Titania Extreme the second one, and Innocence Extreme the third one. And then meet Yoshi P and Oda, the signing session. That will be Thursday, August 22nd from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock CEST, whatever that time zone is. You're going to need a ticket at the info counter to get to that signing session in case you are going. They're going to have a Q&A session with Yoshi P and Oda. And that's from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. PDT on Friday, August 23rd. So bring your Shadowbringers questions. They have a thread. Looks like a thread up again on the official forum.
Let's see.
Now I'm curious. When are we getting playable
McKittens? Oh gosh, report
Never.
This person
They
quickly.
said no.
Quickly report.
Oh God.
I'm looking for the non-lore because it's Oda-san is there, right? The lore god, right? So
right.
I'm waiting for the where are my Eggy Glamour questions.
Apparently, we needed 2 questions on significant changes to healers in a row.
Oh, in a row by the same person. Why were you so dismissive?
No. Oh my God, yes.
Oh, I want to read these. Let's shout out Billy the Pancake here. Why were you so dismissive to the healer community in your live letter despite the numerous concerns with the current iteration of healers? That's one that'll definitely get answered. Why were you so dismissive, Yoshida? I don't understand. Where did you feel like they were dismissive to healers?
I didn't feel like they were. I felt more like they had worse problems to deal with job balances than healers.
Yeah, I think that was and dismissive. Did you see Astrologian's buffs? I'm kind of wondering. And then his second question: can we expect any significant changes to healer this expansion other than simple potency changes? And I'm going to probably go with a no for the most part. I know that they're wanting to balance healers better or something, but by looking at Billy the Pancake's picture here, which is a scholar, I think I understand where we're going with this. My scholar ain't DPSing enough. Why did y'all take all my kit away?
And that's where he's got his tagline, "Make Scholar great again." Seriously, though, we just want our class to be fun and engaging again. Not OP. Is that too much to ask?
I got a suggestion for Billy the Pancake. Y'all can take all this shit stuff from Summoner and keep it on Scholar. I don't want these eggies anymore. You can keep your fairies. I don't want the eggies. You can keep your energy drain or whatever. Have it. You can keep the Aether Flow. Fix something on Summoner. Well, actually, I'll take the Aether Flow. You can have the energy drain. I'd rather have my Aether Flow back and let Summoners or Scholars have energy drain. But I think we need a divorce, Mr. Scholar, because Summoner and Scholar are fucking each other over. It has a lot to do with it. So I think you're mad. I think you're mad. Shadow Flare's gone. Miasma 2 is gone. Da-da-da-da-da. So, sorry, man. I don't think any of that's coming back. I think it's part of the healer balancing issues that Yoshida's trying to fix, and he's leveling them to the ground to some degree to build up from there. Apparently the tanks are balanced. We talked about that last week, so let's get on these healers and get them all balanced up. I just don't think any significant changes that I anticipate and expect that Billy the Fridge here is talking about. Billy the Fridge, Billy the Pancake. Billy the Fridge is cool. He's a YouTuber. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm kind of past the healer thing.
Well,
I think that
it was
the
such a meme though with the green DPS and ha ha ha. It was too overpowered. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. When you have to take something to a group and basically exclude White Mage at the end of 4.0. It makes things difficult. I listened to here's a mini shout out to Frosty TV's podcast, and they had the guys from Entropy and Elysium on, and that's actually a really good show. You should go listen to that. I highly endorse it. It's good, and they talk a lot about what jobs they brought to Savage World First progression and why, and what jobs they won't take over anybody's dead body. They would not take any of these. And Red Mage was mentioned, and Samurai, Ninja. Yeah, there's just some jobs that they were like, wouldn't be caught dead, can't do this in Prague. It's no good. And it's funny to say Red Mage for not Prague, but we're talking about World First Prague. They're dying on purpose to see mechanics. They're not trying to raise a ton of times to, like, can we barely make it? No, I don't think that's how they play. And it was really actually good to listen to how they plan their stuff. They were talking about how they, some of them hit dummies just to get their potencies and rotations and all that stuff, but they also do the fight on normal a lot to see the mechanics and create expectations of how that mechanic will be changed so they can come up with solutions in advance. I think that's pretty smart. Pretty smart. Any other questions that you want to shout out here?
Oh,
you might have
my
been
God.
looking.
I'm just jumping down. Can you explain why Astrologian doesn't have second mana management skill? Then there's, why do you hate healers? Good Lord, I don't know.
My goodness.
Oh, my God. Accessibility, slow motion captures, I don't know. Send me a t-shirt that's begging. Oh, they want the true name of other unsundered Asians that we have killed. They want to know La Habrea's real name. All right.
Well, I mean, I guess you. I just wonder, like, how they connected Hades with Emmett Selk. I wonder if there's some 12 lore that you can go back to and kind of see what they would be. I might look at that while we talk about other subjects here. Here's a good word. I don't know what to call it. A mix-up. I have a few questions. This is from Nedkel. Why Square Enix is forcing you to work on 2 games instead of focus on your entire time on FFXIV? Don't they know MMORPGs are fragile games, which require a lot of work and attention to keep it alive and working? Why they don't invest more resources into our game and stop making games like Final Fantasy 15, which nobody plays anymore? Why not upgrade the current game and make it relevant for longer instead of throwing away resources at other projects that are not going to be successful in the long run? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. I just want to send a message to SE Quarters. Stop with this insanity. I'm telling you, these small indie companies need to be told this. These small indie companies need to be told this constantly. And stop, Square Enix, making single-player games. Stop it. Stop making single-player titles. All the money has to go to this MMO. This is the future. All of the money into this MMO.
The only thing that exists.
No more Nier.
Final Fantasy 14.
No more Final Fantasy. No more Dragon Quest. None of that crap. Only Final Fantasy 14. Nedkill, God bless you, man. You got it right. Whoa. Great community, by the way. Great community.
Shit.
Yikes. Please ask lore questions if you're going to use this thread.
See, and I think there are some lore questions in here about Asians.
Unukalhai questions. These are great questions. I want these.
But the answer to all of these questions is going to be the 5 Shadowbringers isn't over yet.
Here's a change summoner,
right?
Please. Yeah. Okay.
Tanks have had their skills, blah, blah,
Will
blah.
the Red Bills be back? That's a good question. I'd like to see the Red Bills back. Yes.
What? Now that blue is the new diadem. Have you reconsidered the implementation?
That's on page 3. I've already seen that one. I had clicked that.
Oh, let me keep I'll scroll faster.
No, I'm just saying that one with the big blue letters in it kind of popped out at me. Oh, here we go. Maybe fairy glamours that make them look like Moogles. There's your glamour question.
Billy the Pancake's back now.
Oh, Billy.
Yeah. So he's responding. So someone asks, and of course everyone's burning question is, new healer class win? Billy the Pancake comes back with, when they can handle the 3 they have.
Well, he got one thing right.
Oh my god. I'm sometimes unsure if I have Lily summoned or not. It's hard to see her. Oh, because they took her off your menu. I actually missed that myself. I wish they'd put her back on my party list or something, or give me some visual indicator. Because sometimes she gets behind me or something, and I can't tell she's there. Oh, Chocobo AI questions. Where are the lore questions?
I don't know. Here's one about how Astrologian is so bad because they had to meld piety into the gear just to make it functional for any raid. Okay.
Oh, okay. Astrologian could use something.
They do need something to the thing. I don't know how much they felt like they needed to compensate with piety here. Will
we ever see a quest that says help Tiamat move on from her grief? And
I've been waiting for that for some time. I need to see a Tiamat story. Maybe they'll tie it into Final Fantasy 1 in some way.
Why doesn't Alphino learn anything a bit more than carbuncles?
Anybody asking here why Urianger can't swim? I'd like to know more about why Urianger is afraid of water.
Elves have that problem.
I might have to ask that question if nobody else has.
I don't know. Let's see. I don't know. There's some stuff here interesting.
Yeah.
Some Game Plus, New Game Plus questions too. They're just gonna hold. I personally think they will just hold those all to their chest until they're ready to show it off. I don't know. This is not something they're gonna answer. I don't think in one of these letters. Don't know. Anyway, so yeah, if you have a question, please go and add to that list. I think you have a few more days before they pick their questions. I hope some good questions get answered. I felt like some of the last Q&A session, I didn't think there were too many eye-rolling. Why would you spend time answering that?
No,
questions?
And they'll be picky. They're not going to ask the dumb questions because they don't want to waste time. I hope they get 70 questions in. Expect another 2-hour podcast from us when that happens. I hope they ask a ton of questions and they parse out. There's already 18 pages on that, and they've got lots to choose from, and they can take as much time as they need with each of the questions. So, yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to hear that. There's not a live letter here, but to me, this is somewhat live lettery because he'll go into some of the stuff. We're not going to get a lot of future predictions or 5.1 stuff, so don't expect that.
I'm not going to read all the times and days, but if you're interested, go check out the Lodestone. They're going to also have a PvP show match live on stage, a cosplay contest, a fan gathering. So, and you have to sign up for the fan gathering. There's another link from that. But that seems to be what's going to be going on in Germany that week.
Very cool.
That's cool. Very cool. All right, we have a campaign going on to play free for up to 6 days in the latest free login campaign. I think you have to have been unsubbed for a month. It's here in the rules somewhere. So by the time you listen to this, it's probably over. From 8/9 to 8/16, you could get up to 144 hours if you sign in. And 6 days, including the day the users first log in. If you have to reinstall the game, download the software. Let's see. Multiple accounts. I don't know. It's the same kind of thing they usually do. Just log in and play for a while. It does start, though, when you log in, or when you log into the updater. So if your game's not updated, I think you lose some of those hours.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that really stinks, but, hopefully you got a fast-speed internet. Get that stuff down. I like that they used Eden in the picture at the top.
Well, and we did have somebody come back. Eddard popped back on and said hi. And he I don't know if he's going to come back, but it was cool seeing him again.
Yeah, it's really nice. I love when we have old members come back and they feel right at home when they come back in. So it's the thing. I've drank Mayhaw Bounce with Eddard IRL before. If you don't know what that is, it's a liquor that was made from these berries. It's a fruit. I guess whatever, you can make fermented fruit into any kind of alcohol you want, right? But they called it Bounce, and I don't know if that's just a common term for it, or if it's a Louisiana thing, or if that's just what you call some liquor that gets you bounced up after you drink it. So I don't know. It's a good time. Eddard's a good guy.
All right, and join us at PAX West 2019 is the next news item. Fresh off the heels of Shadowbringers, we're heading to Seattle for PAX West 2019. They're going to have the art team lead, Taiko Suzuki, and main scenario writer Natsuko Ishikawa, who will be hosting a panel on the creation of Shadowbringers and 2 signing sessions with attendees. They're also going to have a new player experience where potential new adventurers can battle Ifrit and get the starter edition for free. Meanwhile, experienced adventurers can do battle against Titania, ruler of the Pixies, for a chance at a I Beat Titania t-shirt. Mm-hmm. Show dates and hours. It's Friday, August 30th through Monday, September 2nd. Expo Hall hours are 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. PDT. The Square Enix booth will be open throughout the entire show, so be sure to stop by.
Very nice. Hook us up with those posters. Somebody send us a poster.
I'm like, that's looking pretty nice.
Yeah.
So the panel is creating Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers narrative and visual insights. That is going to be on Sunday, September 1st in the main theater at 2:30 PDT. And they're going to stream it live for us who can't run over to Seattle. You can watch it on the Twitch channel, of course. And signing sessions with Suzuki and Ishikawa. There's a new player experience. They're repeating themselves here as I scroll down. They're doing giveaways. Everybody can grab a lanyard, it looks like. Nice. And they have a picture here of the foam swords, too. Very nice.
I want a foam sword, too. So when you send us the poster, send me a foam sword.
Boy, that's it. There was not much news this week.
Not a whole heck of a lot.
They're going to just drop... Well, they're probably busy getting these other things.
Well, we just had a live letter. The huge Q&A. There's stuff to do in game. I don't think there's a void. Although these,
bored,
unless you're asking 6.0 questions, I don't really know what you're asking about. We've got plenty of story right now. People are still working the story, so it's not really time to be asking for what's next. There'll be a point in the next few weeks that I'll be like, "What's up with that 5.1?" I want to hear more about 5.1. And in that meantime, I have to buy Nier, the Yorha edition, and get that taken care of. I got like T-minus 2 months, right? Did we do this earlier on the podcast, or was it you and I speculating?
I don't think we had hit record yet because I didn't know what the hell you were talking about. Remember?
That's right.
You're like I have 2 months for Nier, and I'm like,
now you do.
Yeah.
So we were speculating. You said you had a date that you think, based on previous results, was.
Someone had taken the patch days from like 3.0 and 4.0 and kind of guessed at when the release days would be. They were off by a couple weeks for Shadowbringers, but if they keep up the same pace, we should have 5.1. Now this don't at me. What were we thinking? October, like 15th or 22nd? One of those kind of days.
One of those Tuesdays
there.
in the middle to the end of the month.
Yeah.
So that seems about right, and we're recording on Wednesday the 14th. So it's about 2 months that you've got if you have never touched Nier. I don't think you're going to have to, but it did heighten my experience in the previous 24-man raid, having come off of Final Fantasy Tactics Replay just prior, and then a Final Fantasy XII replay, that helped my lore immensely.
I was lost, so that's why I bought Nier. I'm like, I need to know.
And I don't want to be lost.
Yeah.
People say Nier has such an incredible story, it'll make you cry. And you get to
cried.
watch her ass when you run or whatever, so that's a thing
I
for
may have watched
many
your ass
people.
a little bit.
It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. The idea, though, is the hope, really, is that we can all have our asses hanging out in whatever new gear that we get that comes out of Yorha. So that's that. I'm excited for that. I'm just hoping we get some 5.1 information in the next few weeks, but I'm not like dying at this stage. I'm definitely okay with where we're at, and I think for the jobs, I think we got all the answers we're gonna get for the jobs for now until 5.08. We're not getting any other answers about jobs. Stop asking about the healer shit. I don't think there's anything else that's coming out. They've already said, well, we'll take a look at it, but we've done what we can do at this time. It's the DPS roles that I think that really need the focus as it stands. And I had forgotten as well, but when I was watching videos from awkmorning.com, I remembered and was reminded that 4.0 Summoner, until 4.1, the 4.0 Summoner was trash. And then in 4.1, it was fixed. And I want to say, Yelta, that's probably the time I was jumping ship off of Red Mage. We did the first tier. Well, it might have been before that. We did the first tier, and I had jumped ship off of Red Mage and switched to Summoner when we were doing Prog on Savage, and I was really loving Summoner. By the end of 4.x, I was loving Summoner. So
Loving it.
don't expect a lot of questions being answered that have to do with job potencies, job changes, new jobs, unless it's something strictly lore related.
No, I agree.
Yeah, that's all I got. There was no new blog posts. They're busy. There's no new.
I just went and checked while you were
There's no
talking.
new trackers. I did get. I guess we could do a little bit of like happy hour. I just came up with something or remembered that our friend Mithrin Scarlet sent me some messages about tanking. And I think we're pretty right. I'm just going to summarize here. I think we're pretty right about like the differences in the DPS. That wasn't my info. I didn't come up with that. I read a chart that said that the tanks were pretty close in the damage output that they do. In fact, I think that was echoed by Elysium and Entropy on that Frosty episode. That they didn't really have too much difficulty choosing what tanks. They did say Warrior was trash. And it had something to, or one of them said they weren't going to take Warrior because it's trash because they lost some ability and I don't know, maybe it was Gunbreaker was better or something. I don't remember what the issue was with that. But Mithrin Scarlet sent us a message and he says, I'm going to skip the first line here. I think it's about a different topic. Dancer. Oh yeah, this is the old message. Maybe that's what it's like. It's about bards and dancers. I was like, what? He's telling us about the tanks. Okay, here we go. Gunbreaker needs a minimum of minimum of 1,320 skill speed just to play the job. So essentially, you must have different tank gear depending on which tank you want to play at any given time. If you try to play Paladin with skill speed, you're screwing up your rotation and it's ruined. If you try to play Gunbreaker without skill speed, your DPS is awful and you can't do your rotation properly. It's a really big problem if you play every job like I do and have to keep all their gear sets in your armory chest at all times. But I play through Warrior through Savage's tier and I love its damage. I get 13k openers, so that's good. I think Dark Knight does need a DPS buff. It's similar to Ninja. Paladin Sword and Shield shouldn't be out DPS a big heavy great sword, and I say this is a Paladin Dark main. Okay, I can feel that. Make Dark a little darker by increasing that damage and all that. But again, I think it's I think it's a skill thing. I think if you know how to do your opener and keep your skill, you're a 200 potency difference between all 4 tanks or something. It's not really that big of a deal. I think it's just a style kind of thing. What do you like at this point? I could be wrong. I don't tank, but I think it's more style points. Again, when the guys from, it was either one of the guys from Entropy or Elysium was like, fuck Warrior. I think that was his personal preference because the other one played Warrior. The other group played a Warrior, and they got world first with a Warrior in the group. So that meta shit, it's just, I wouldn't worry too much about that. But thank you, Mithrin Scarlet, for the message. You are our winner of the day of the person that cares enough to gather together a message. Send us a message. Somebody.
I always enjoy seeing that little light in Discord light up, and it's a message from him because he's got good points and thoughtful things to discuss.
Yeah,
not scared to message us, and we love that.
I like it. I mean, we had I'll shout it out because I put it on my Twitter. We had the comment that I reread on Stitcher from like 3 years ago. And it was talking about how negative we were as a podcast, Yelta, how mean and negative we were.
Yeah, we were supposed to maybe take a break.
We need to take a
5.0.
Right, they told us to take a vacation until 5.0. So I'm just wondering if dude's still playing because we're still here and we're still podcasting, and I don't think we're that negative. We call it as we see it. The only time I can remember us being really negative and down on the game is when we could not prog Heaven's Word. That first tier of Heaven's Word, Savage, the Alexander Savage, Gordius was just a nightmare for us, and I think that brought our morale down quite a bit for a 2 to 3, maybe even a 4-month period. We were just kind of, this game sucks. And then I think we jumped back in somewhere. I know the last tier we did, but I feel like we kind of came out of the darkness somewhere in the 3.3 era. So I don't know, but we're better. I think we're great. I think we do good work. So,
and we just call it out how we feel it on a lot of things. It doesn't mean we hate everything in the game. We just might have, summoner got some problems, or I was kind of pissy that I had trouble getting into pugs for EX stuff as a white mage for a while. And I don't know. There's sometimes frustrations and yeah, burnout. We've both taken weeks off here and there.
You have to. You got to take a break every now and again, especially if your frustration is high with the game. You got to do something else. In the end, it's still a game. It's just a game.
It's still a game. It's serious business.
It is serious business.
All right, last call. Ruby, you had a shout out.
I do, and this is a bigger shout out because we're going to have this individual on our podcast next week. Shout out to Alex at mybacklogbattle.tv. Again, that's mybacklogbattle.tv. Go to Alex's website and see what Backlog Battle has to offer. Alex puts out a great podcast. There's some really cool stuff there, and Alex has been getting back into the Final Fantasy videos, so be on the lookout for those guides and role information, stuff for new adventurers. It's really good. It's really good. But we are going to have Alex on our show next week. We'll record next Wednesday, and we'll probably have that released sometime around the 23rd or 24th. So be on the lookout for that. We'll be asking Alex, what do you do at my backlog battle? What's your experience? How do you play? What jobs do you play? What do you like doing? And all the fun Final Fantasy XIV stuff. And we'll see if he can stomach sitting through an episode with us. It'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. Yelta, you have a shout out, and you reminded me about this individual and how, for some reason, I did not have him followed on Twitter like a doofus.
Well, it's so funny. So when I get home from work, I sometimes sit in bed while my husband cooks me supper because I'm spoiled. And I usually bring up like YouTube or something. And there's an episode of Fandom Uncovered, and it was about how Dungeons & Dragons went from hidden and hellish to Hollywood. It's quite good. Go find it if you are interested in watching it. It's we'll link it. It's a YouTube video. But anyway, so I'm watching this video, and 25 seconds in, I see this guy. And I'm like, and then they showed his name, and I'm like, where do I know? How is it Final Fantasy XIV related, Yelta? And I'm like, oh my god, I totally remember. I'm like, I saw him on Twitter, and the only reason I even saw him on Twitter was he's the dude who sings the lyrics to the Shadowbringer song.
Yeah.
And that is Jason Charles Miller. I didn't know that he was into D&D. I'm long time D&D player, and my husband's a D&D enthusiast, and I don't keep up on all the new stuff because it's really hot right now, right? You have Critical Role, and you have all this other stuff, and I'm watching this video, and I'm like, shit. Apparently, like, there's weird linkages between the things I enjoy. So it was really cool to see him on there. And I think I shared that with you.
Yeah.
I think I retweeted the video too. So I just was surprised. He's got a tour coming up. I think he's going to be in your neck of the woods.
I looked into it. He'll be in Arlington, Texas, and in the Colony, Texas, which is not terribly far from where I'm at. And I'm wondering if I can snag something Shadowbringer's whatever to get him to sign it. I might actually go out there and listen. I think it'd be fantastic to meet the man, get an autograph, and shake the hand of the guy that voiced could be the second, if not best, theme song of the game. Answers is huge. I believe if we get another fan fest in 2020, what do you think? You think we'll get a fan fest? I feel like the game's pretty popular.
I'm almost scared that if we get a fan fest, I won't get to go.
God, so many damn people trying to get a ticket. Right?
I have anxiety. I'm like, but, and I know I would probably still go, but I would just be crushed that I wouldn't be there. Just crushed.
So, I really believe they'll have him out. I got to get this guy to sing Shadowbringers live for us, right?
That would be beautiful.
Oh my goodness. Plus, we have all the lyrics and everything. I'd just be ready to rock. And it's rock. He could play on stage next to Soken, for Christ's sake. This is badass. And what I really hope, that the lights go down and you hear that opening female vocal and we're like, why the fuck do we know this voice? And Susan Calloway walks out doing the opening, and then James here comes out and rips it. I'm so excited. So hopefully I'll get to see Jason Charles Miller here fairly soon, and hopefully we get to see him at FanFest. If we have a FanFest. No confirmation yet.
If we have a FanFest. I hope so. All right, well, that is it. I think we are done for tonight. So it's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You can find links to all of our episodes and blog posts on our website, GTFFXIV.com. While you're there, please leave us a comment. And if you'd like to, you can support us by clicking the donation button. You can find us on Twitter at GTFFXIV. Email us at gtffxiv@gmail.com. Please rate us. Personal plugs, Ruby.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at RubiconVale, RubiconVale.
And you can find me on Twitter at YeltaSumasu, YeltaSumasu. As always, thanks for listening, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yikes. Great community, by the way. Great community.